I'm Evan. Welcome back to the Extra Spicy Pod. I'm here with my co-host Landon. How are you doing today, Landon?
I'm doing good. It's a good St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I'm in my green. Evan's not. He hates the Irish.
I do hate the Irish. No offense to our Irish viewers out there. I mean, we found out we were getting someone from Belgium listening to our stuff. So, I mean, who knows? So, today we got some good list of topics for you today. We're going to discuss our favorite NFL teams, and then we're also going to talk about everything that went on with NFL free agency. We're also going to talk about who we think will win the NFL MVP and NBA MVP. But we're gonna jump into the other topics as we go on the episode. So let's start off with our very first topic, or something we gotta introduce. Our favorite NFL teams.
So I'd like to introduce my favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. My hometown team. I've been to lots of Saints games, probably over 20 games, and I'm just really born and raised a Saints fan. You know, I grew up with Drew Brees as my quarterback, and people like Alvin Kamara, Cam Jordan, Mike Thomas, you know, all these players, you know, really started becoming a big fan in 2017, so in the last little bits of the Saints kind of dynasty era when they went to the NFC Championship and they were in the playoffs for like 4 straight years, and they were good in Drew Brees' last couple of seasons, so it was cool watching them. Home sweet dome, right? Who dat? Can you agree, Evan? Who dat?
No.
Let me get a who dat.
I'm not agreeing to that. I'm not gonna lie. Going to see Drew Brees was fun, but here's the thing though. I don't really have a favorite NFL team. I'm more of an Aaron Rodgers fan. Because why? Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT in my opinion.
Wrong.
But no, ain't no wrong. He can do anything. The only thing he doesn't have is the accomplishments. Tom Brady got him beating the accomplishments, but I mean he's got more MVPs than Tom, so that's not much. Anyways,
We might argue about that in another podcast. You know why Aaron Rodgers is not the top quarterback of all time. That's kind of ridiculous.
We're gonna argue our goats in the future, but let's jump right into this. NFL free agency.
Hold up, so what's your favorite team? You never answered the question.
Like I said, I don't really have a favorite team.
Oh, so you're a bandwagon then?
I'm not a bandwagon because one, if I was a bandwagon, you would see me in a Patrick Mahomes jersey. Be like, go Chiefs, go Patrick Mahomes. I like Patrick Mahomes. No, we don't support that bandwagonism. If I do decide to magically be a fan of a team, it ain't gonna be the most popular team. Like for example, I'm not gonna be a Philly fan, even though I should be a Philly fan to piss you off even more.
Bro, yeah, you would do that, wouldn't you?
I would.
You would be like a fandom of every Philly sports team just to piss me off.
Fly Eagles fly, baby. But I'm not being a Philly fan. I wouldn't be a Kansas City fan. I mean, I feel like it'd be it's weird, but if I had to pick a team, I'm not gonna say I'm a big fan of the team, but like just like watching them play, I guess. It'd either be the Texans, the Bengals, or the Jets when they get Aaron Rodgers back. But that's all I got for that.
You know, Bengals, hometown Joe Burrow. You know, I like the Bengals too.
But here's the thing though, I can't stand watching a Saints game, especially nowadays. If it was like Drew Brees and all of them, I could actually sit through the game and watch it. Now, yeah, they can barely get past the like 50-yard line. So,
bro, the difference between you and I'm a ride or die fan. I'm gonna stick with my team no matter what. Your team sucks, you go jump to another team. You know, when Rodgers retires, you go jump to another team.
At least McDonald's didn't have a fucking special promo on us. On the fucking Jets. Hey, every time the Saints score a touchdown, when they literally score the least amount of touchdowns in the league, hey, every time the Saints score a touchdown, you get free fries at McDonald's.
Bro, it's not about that. It's about being ride or die. You're not loyal. I'm loyal over here.
I'm loyal.
Bro, what you loyal to?
I'm loyal to the GOAT, Aaron Rodgers.
So you're loyal to wherever he decides to go?
Yeah.
What about when he retires in like 4 or 5 years? Maybe less.
Well, on this podcast, we're going to spin a giant wheel of the NFL teams and that's who I'm going to be a fan of.
So if it lands on the Detroit Lions, you're gonna be a Lions fan.
I will be a Lions fan.
You'll be a Browns fan.
That I will never be a Browns fan.
So what are you gonna do if it lands on the Browns?
Well, easy. I'm gonna rig it to like where I can kick off the Browns. Any other team is up for grabs, except for Arizona, because I just don't like Arizona. And there's another team I don't like. The Falcons. I can't stand Falcons.
All right, you and me go agree on that. Let's go.
Okay, so
How about this NFL free agency? This free agency / trades. We just got done with a bunch of them, Evan.
I'm gonna say this. Either two things are about to happen. One, the Texans are gonna beat the Chiefs this year. With the additions that they have, with Joe Mixon in the running game, if they get that offensive line right, and they get because they just signed Daniil Hunter, they just signed a bunch of dudes onto that defense. I think the Texans are gonna be a scary ass monster team. Or with all these moves the Bengals are doing right now, getting rid of T. Higgins, getting rid of Joe Mixon, signing Mike Gesicki for a low contract deal. It could be a sign that maybe, just maybe now, I'm not putting the hype on the train or anything, the Bengals might be going after Justin Jefferson. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know if it's true or not, but that'd be amazing to see. Because, they'd be dominant, and everyone in the league knows this.
That'd be really cool to see. Have Joe Burrow with his college teammate Justin Jefferson. Also with, what's the other receiver's name on the Bengals? Jamar Chase. Yeah, the 3 LSU boys. Oh, that'd be sweet.
That'd be ecstatic. But I know the Texans have won the free agency for either them, or I don't want to give it to Philly. But because I already feel like Saquon did it out of spite. So I already know why he did it. It's just out of spite. Because he literally got franchise tag last year, and they were like, no. He's like, no, I'm not playing.
Well, let's go with these big time trades. Let's go individual. So let's go Kirk Cousins. He went to the Falcons, free agency.
Mm-hmm.
You think it makes the Falcons way better?
I think it actually does.
Are they Super Bowl contenders now?
No.
Nah, they're not Super.
But what it will do, they might, and it depends on what the fuck the Bucks do. They might win the NFC South.
Because they got Kyle Pitts, they got Robinson, and they got Kirk Cousins. That's like a trio right there.
And they got Drake London too.
Drake London, yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, they got a pretty alright defense. Their defense pretty alright.
You got Jesse Bates in that backfield too. That's a scary man. I do think though, they will, if the Bucks don't do any other moves, they're winning the NFC South though, because with the Kirk Cousins move, which was smart on Atlanta, but also bad that they paid him so much fucking money.
Well, it was smart. He's the best quarterback that they had since Matt Ryan.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Because
they needed a quarterback.
I mean, you could have. I'm not gonna lie. With the news that broke yesterday, I mean, you could have gotten Justin Fields for like a solid 5th round pick.
Yeah, but who's better though, Justin Fields or Kirk Cousins?
What the fuck had the Bears given him though? That's the thing.
I would take Kirk Cousins every day.
I mean, I would hope so, but at the same time, you also got to look at the same instance of what the fuck did the Bears give Justin Fields other than DJ Moore?
All right, well, Kirk Cousins has proven that he's good. Justin Fields may be unproven, but at least we know this guy's proven, so we're gonna go get this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying it's not a bad pickup. I mean, like I said, if they would have done something like what the Steelers did with Russell Wilson, with the whole, because if you notice, he's getting paid like $1.7 million a year from the Steelers, right? And that's because he's getting paid the other $38 million from the Broncos. And that's a team that's fucked up more than anything, which they're probably going to trade up in the draft. But
yeah, let's talk about the Russell Wilson news. So he went from the Broncos to the Steelers, getting paid all this money by the Broncos. and the Steelers they get a really good quarterback for $1 million a year. Like, that's pretty crazy. Come on, how could you not love that move if you're a Steelers fan?
See, the thing about that though, they're still not going to do anything. It's going to take more than a year.
Is he an upgrade?
He is 1000% an upgrade, better than Kenny Pickett. But at the same time, though, you also got to look at that overall team. Look at who they just got rid of. They got rid of Deontay Johnson. He was arguably their best receiver.
All right, just on a quarterback perspective, though, he's an upgrade, right?
Yes, but
And then Kenny Pickett left town. He didn't want to deal with them.
yeah, he's the backup for the Eagles now. So like, I mean, after 2 years though, I mean, they kind of knew it was time for him. But I mean, that's why I might also give Philly the fucking edge because, I mean, hey, you had a dude that was just starting literally a season ago as your backup quarterback. So if Jalen Hurts ever decides to go down, hey man, you actually got weapons too. Not saying that the Steelers didn't have weapons, but you have actual solid weapons. You might actually make something happen, or you may just fuck up and just suck as a quarterback. It just really all depends on what that dude does. Like if he's making the right reads and not making the right reads. Like it just really all depends.
I'm not really a big Kenny Pickett believer. I don't think he's got it.
I thought he was overhyped. That was my opinion.
Well, the Eagles had a good backup quarterback last year. That dude from Jacksonville. Can't think of his name. You know?
But they had Marcus Mariota last year.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right. They had Marcus Mariota. I mean, is he better than Kenny Pickett? I'd say so.
Marcus Mariota on the Titans will still be the best Marcus Mariota we will ever see.
Agreed.
So, like, and now he's on the Commanders now, and this is also going to show that like what teams will actually need to draft up because you got some mock draft saying that Jaden Daniels is going to go number 2, and so, but you may never know if the Bears may even draft a quarterback, but in this situation.
Yeah, let's hold off till draft talk till later on. Right now, we're just talking about
Russell
the
Wilson.
moves that happened. Come on, Russell Wilson. Let's talk about how much a shit show in Denver that's been for the past 2 years.
Like,
They didn't get anywhere.
I'm gonna say this: they were cooking. If it's fucked up on the organization's part, whenever you go to a player, hey, we want to change your non-guaranteed injury, because they try to change that in his contract. Everybody got to get paid at some point, even if you're hurt. I mean, he's a professional football player. He put his body on the line to, play, perform, do whatever. And so, let's just say, I'm a manager at your restaurant, okay? And I need time off, but I still need to get paid though. You're gonna give me paid time off. But if you're just like, hey, you're not gonna get paid time off anymore, I'm gonna be like, the fuck is wrong with you? No.
I think both sides deserve blame. I think Russell Wilson didn't look as good in Denver as he did in Seattle. I also think Denver, as an organization, they didn't do Russell right. They didn't do Russell right. So you had Nathaniel Hackett, the first year as a head coach, terrible head coach.
See,
My gosh, terrible head coach.
I think that year, the first year, I can give Russ a pass on it because that ain't on Russ.
And he was getting adjusted to the system, like everyone had to adjust. So I understand it takes some time. The second year, though,
I'm gonna say this. I'm not blaming it all on Russ, because I mean he was cooking throughout the season. We could absolutely agree. They were on like a 6-7 game win streak, I think. I don't remember what it was exactly, but then they were like, nah. I mean they lost to Texas. They ran into a hot Texas.
they lost to the Patriots.
They lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, at home they lost to the Patriots, I think, around Christmas.
because I know the Texans ended that win streak because they were just heating up, and so I know that's when shit started going south. But I blame for that on that team I blame the organization itself. Because one, we've already known Jerry Judy and Cortland Sutton are not going to cut.
No, neither of them are one receivers. They're like 2-3 receivers, but not one receivers.
Like they're not solid. So that's why.
Right.
I'm not blaming Russ in this situation because you have number two wide receivers. And then who do you have in your running game? You had Melvin Gordon that was balling out like in your first year, but then he tore his ACL or something. Yeah, he tore his ACL, and he comes back and not many players are the same when they tear their ACL.
Yeah, so he didn't have the most help around him as far as receivers, running backs, tight end. Like that whole offensive just didn't gel. Whether it be receivers, tight ends, running backs, even the quarterback, I think he still has something to blame on both seasons. And even up to the coaches, Sean Payton seemed like he didn't get along at all. Him and Sean Payton?
I personally think that I thought before the last season started, that they were actually going to do good because I saw an article they spent like over $100 million on their O line, and I'm just like, maybe they actually gave Russ like some time to do it.
I thought they'd come second in the division behind the Chiefs.
Yeah, I thought that too, because
which I think they actually did.
I mean, we still weren't wrong, but like, what I'm saying in the situation is that we expect shit to happen, but in reality, like, it just can't. We could pay all these dudes all this much amount of money. It depends on whether they're gonna perform or not. You gotta think. If I'm paying a good ass O lineman, you gotta give me at least like maybe, cause you get an NFL quarterback takes like what 2 seconds in the pocket, maybe 3, 4,
2 to 3.
Exactly. So like that O line gotta defend you like a motherfucker. And if you got someone like Aaron Donald chasing you, which I mean, he's retired now, but when you got Aaron Donald chasing you, like you need all the time in the world you can get to throw that ball.
The O line gets no respect though. It's not a sexy position to be an O lineman. You know, no credit gets given to the O line. It's always the quarterback.
I support the big boys.
Yeah, I support the big boys too. It's not the sexiest position in the world. Not many people can even name an O lineman. Like the average NFL fan probably can't name their starting O lineman.
They're probably just gonna say Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson. You just say the Eagles' fucking offensive line, and that's what they're gonna say.
Right. A lot of them can't even name their favorite team's O lineman. I mean, it's not a sexy position, but it is a very important position.
It is very important.
Which many teams don't get right.
And I do think that hopefully, I think they're still going to trade up in the draft to go get a solid quarterback. It just really depends on who it is now. If, in my opinion, if they go after like someone like a Drake May, I'm not a big fan of Drake May or Bo Nix. If they get one of them, I'm going to be low-key angry at them. Because at the same time, though, like, they can't make any free agency moves. Because, they still fucking owe Russ a lot of money. So, I expect them to actually do good. Maybe trade up a couple picks. Like, I don't care if they get to, like, 5 or 6.
I'm going to pull up the NFL draft position. Let's go over, like, who we think's going to go as far as quarterback-wise. Who's going to go to what team? I think the number one pick is obviously Caleb Williams to Chicago, right? You would agree?
I agree with that, especially now. I was going to say, my personal opinion, but this is also me being a little bit biased. I don't care what anybody says. The Bears would have kept Justin Fields and would have drafted a wide receiver. If I was the Bears, I would have taken Malik Neighbors. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't care that this Marvin Harrison Jr. is Marvin Harrison's son. Malik Neighbors put up the same exact numbers as Marvin Harrison. But the only difference is the name. That's legit only it.
It seemed inevitable that Caleb Williams is going to go number one of the Bears. And I also think that Chicago is going to fire their head coach after the season. Because, Caleb Williams isn't going to do it all of his rookie season. They have a disappointing season, fire the head coach, cycle repeats itself. They just gotta keep going this cycle.
Now see, where's Denver in this? Denver's number 12.
That's low. They can't pick a top quarterback unless they trade up.
I don't know, because you see.
Would they trade up? I could see them trading up, trying to get to the, with the Cardinals maybe.
Or I'm gonna be slick. I'm gonna try to go after that number 5 pick. That number 5 pick
With the Chargers.
Because think about it, they don't need a quarterback.
Neither does the Cardinals.
No, I'm talking about Denver.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Cardinals need all the help they get.
Yeah.
So if I'm Denver, I'm going after a quarterback. Arizona may go after Kyler Murray's replacement. We don't know their intentions. We don't work for the organization.
I feel like they're gonna stick with Kyler Murray. I mean, they might draft a quarterback, but
they may shock the world like Green Bay did a couple years back.
yeah.
They may take a quarterback first round, and everybody's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Okay, let's see. Okay, who's going number 2? We're both in agreement. Caleb Williams 2. Caleb Williams 1. Right. Number 2, I'd say Jane Daniels. Maybe a little biased, but what would you say? He won the Heisman now.
He did win the Heisman.
He won the Heisman.
This is an unpredictable one because I'll tell you why. I mean, even though they just signed Marcus Mariota, 2 things. One, they still need position players all around. Think about it. They just lost Curtis Samuel to the Bills. That was their number 2 wide receiver.
Their number 1 need is a quarterback, though. There's no way they're not getting.
But their number 1 need is a quarterback, though. But you gotta take a look at all around. It's more of a pick your poison type thing. Would you rather have 2 good ass wide receivers and a mid quarterback, or do you want a good quarterback but 1 good wide receiver, not 2? Because Scary Terry's gonna be Scary Terry.
So you don't think they're taking a quarterback now?
I'm not gonna say they're not taking a quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the most unpredictable. So they could take a quarterback, but they could also not. It just really depends on what they. It's the pick your poison type thing. If you understand what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you were to say now, what would you think the Commanders do at 2?
If I was the Commanders,
Yeah.
I'm going after Great Daniels. And that's me though, because you got Austin Eckler, and then I can waste my 2nd round pick on an O-line or something, just to help you buff up that O-line, give you time in the pocket.
Yeah. I could also see your point being where they take a receiver and maybe get a quarterback next year.
Mm-hmm. But it just really depends on who comes out next year. You may never know. You may get another Caleb Williams next year, and you may fall into a good ass spot, and you may get that Caleb Williams. Then let's see, number 3. If the Washington does not take Marvin Harrison Jr. or something like that, something don't happen, New England is either gonna go with Jaden Daniels if they don't take Jaden Daniels, because I feel like that'd be a good combo.
That would be. And I've heard reports of the Patriots like Jane Daniels.
I heard about that too. I think that Jane Daniels might go to the Patriots if Washington does not take him. It just really depends on how the order is going to go.
And we don't really know because there's a lot of draft day trades that happen. Teams will switch orders all around.
Like I said, Denver may trade up for that Chargers pick.
That's what I think they're going to eye.
They should.
Because the top 3 teams legit need a quarterback. If I'm Denver, I'm trying to sneak me a top pick. Unless if they could magically go like they did last year with Stetson Bennett. I don't think Stetson Bennett got drafted last year.
He went to the Rams. He got drafted late to the Rams.
Yeah, he went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went there.
Late.
Yeah. Or no, Max Duggan. Max Duggan, yeah. The TCU quarterback.
Hold up. Do you think the Giants take a quarterback?
I think the Giants are going to take a quarterback.
I could see them doing it. I could see them also not doing it.
What I think they will do, what I personally think they will do, they're going to package Daniel Jones. But the tricky thing about that is though, who wants to take on that contract? That's the key thing.
That was a bad contract the Giants
That
gave.
is an absolute. I feel bad for every Giants fan because, at the same time though, the money that you were supposed to give to Saquon, you give it to Daniel Jones.
Giants are really a poverty franchise. Other than those 2 seasons they won the Super Bowl, they're a poverty franchise. Eli is the most mid quarterback you could ever have.
I wouldn't say mid.
He had 2 good playoff runs. What else has he done?
If you
Besides
can beat-
those 2 years,
If you can
he's
beat
the definition of
17-0 Patriots, if you can beat the 17-0 Patriots, I wouldn't call him mid. Joe Flacco, I'm calling fucking mid. As much as I like Joe Flacco, you cannot lie to me right here that the defense.
He actually had a few 2 good years with Baltimore.
He had good years, but let's not
Eli
forget-
Manning has never had a good year. He's been mid. He had 2 magical postseason runs. Am I wrong?
We're gonna argue this another time.
All right. Hold up. So, what do we think the third quarterback off the board is? We got James Daniels. We got Caleb Williams both. Who's the third quarterback? I think my pick is going to be Bo Nix.
It could be Bo Nix, but apparently, what I don't like about the NFL is that people will, or the teams,
Just believe in these schools like North Carolina for some fucking reason. I don't personally believe that. I mean, let's not get it twisted now. Some people have come out of schools that we never even really fucking heard of. Look at Aaron Rodgers at Cal.
I mean, Wyoming, Josh Allen,
There you go. We
Drew Brees, Purdue,
but
Texas Tech, Mahomes.
exactly. So
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
really know what these dudes are gonna develop into. But see me, who was it last year that came from they came from I know I didn't trust Kenny Pickett whenever he was getting drafted.
Me neither. I didn't like Kenny Pickett a lot. That was
There-
2 years ago.
There was someone else from UNC or something like that. Dude, Will Levis.
Will Levis.
I didn't. I mean, he ain't good.
I think that quarterback
He
draft
was-
wasn't great.
That was absolutely not great, but at the same time though, Will Levis, I understand why he went so late. I mean, I personally think he could be better. I think he will be better. He was a rookie, so. But I personally believe that in this situation now, and it's for every player too. You're taking a chance,
Right.
so
I mean, that's what happens every draft of any sport. You take a chance.
Drake may become the next Patrick Mahomes. He may become the next Tom Brady. We don't know what Drake May could be. But from my personal understanding, I don't like him because, understand this. We know what Caleb Williams can do. We know what Jaden Daniels can do. I mean, they're playing against SEC competition. We're next level competition. Not Caleb Williams playing Oklahoma and shit. That's understandable.
Yeah. Drake May is what you're saying. He doesn't play the top teams necessarily a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with Michael Penix this year. Other than Texas that they beat, they ran into Michigan and Oregon. That
They beat Oregon
I
twice.
know they beat Oregon,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that those were the only competitions that they had.
Hold up. The team beat Oregon, not the player. It's a team sport. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. The competition that these players are facing though. What I'm saying is Drake May's gonna face Drake May can face Southeastern every day of the week and score 100 on them. Even though we're gonna put Southeastern in their conference, okay? Southeastern's gonna be in their conference. and Drake May can just drop 100 bomb on him, throw for 8 touchdowns, do all that. Of course he's gonna look good. Of course he's gonna throw about like 500 yards a game in Southeastern. That's what I'm saying. Versus a Jaden Daniels, who gets like a 300 passing yard game, but like 100 rushing yards. You get what I'm saying? Against Alabama, like.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. We gotta look at quarterbacks who played great competition, and they did great in that great competition. But we don't have to look too far to look at Mac Jones, who's been a failure in the NFL. But he played great at Bama, playing great competition. You can take it both ways now. See, this thing goes both ways. You can look at the smaller quarterbacks and say, oh, they played really good, but played terrible competition. And you can look at the bigger school quarterbacks, played really good, played great competition, but then they go in the NFL and they fail.
And see,
it's the chance thing, right?
It's still the absolute chance thing, and that's what I'm saying in the end, though. But at the same time, though, if you just watch them play, though, you can tell like they got stuff in their game that actually makes them special. Look at Jaden Daniels, for example. Motherfucker knows when to run out of the pocket, when to throw, when to stay in the pocket. He's good. He got better from 2 years ago.
He did.
Because he knew when to stay in the pocket, when to step out of the pocket.
I mean, we're both high on Jaden Daniels because that's our hometown team.
But we got to take the bias out of it.
Yeah, we do.
Like Caleb Williams, for example, I feel like me personally, I think Caleb Williams is too arrogant. That's me though. Because if you just see what he does.
Yeah.
But he's a talented guy. Don't get twisted.
Very talented.
Very talented.
I mean, his ceiling is Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. Ceiling.
They compare him to Aaron Rodgers. But I'm just like, I gotta see it.
Because you may never know. Like I said, it's a chance thing. Caleb Williams may go out there his first game, go three interceptions.
So you like Bo Nix as the third best quarterback in this draft?
Either Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy over Bo Nix?
Not over Bo Nix. Yeah. I'm saying like either one.
Either one? Yeah.
Michael Penix, I feel like he could be better.
I feel like this draft is pretty stacked though, when you look at all the quarterbacks.
It's alright. It ain't that special though. Like, I do think that some of the quarterbacks are gonna be good. Some of them are not gonna be good. I personally think, like I said, it just really it's been more stacked than it was for the past 2 years though.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I will give it that.
But like I said, I just can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting draft. It really is. It's always more exciting when you have quarterbacks coming off the board. I mean, just going back to like we said, quarterbacks are sexier than O-linemen. O-linemen's not a very sexy position. So when you're watching the draft spectacular and watching all these quarterbacks off the board, it's sexier. I mean, you have more drama. Drama feeling, who's going to go where. And the quarterback, the most important position in all of sports, it's a lot of drama, and it makes it for a very exciting draft day watch.
Because I'm going to say this, a bunch of teams, from the look at this, from the top 12, like we were talking about Denver, they need to easily trade up. Either I see 2 teams that could trade up right now, that could trade up because they need to trade up, or they're going to sign or trade after or go after a quarterback. Minnesota and Denver are either going to trade up or they're going to trade for somebody. Because Minnesota got nobody right now.
Yeah, I could see Minnesota trading up to get a quarterback, or maybe they just stay put and be fine with whoever they get.
I mean, who knows? I mean, we gotta see.
Yeah, who knows how the draft day goes? We just gotta wait and see. What is it, April 20 something?
April 22nd.
There you go. Yeah.
Or April 25th, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, we're gonna wait and see. We'll probably both watch it. We might even do a draft day spectacular in the podcast.
We may actually
could do that. The first day of the draft, do that.
Like, we may actually need to do that.
That sounds like a cool idea. We have to look into that. Alright, let's see. Next topic here, we got Okay, so who do we think is going to win the NFL MVP next season?
See,
It's kind of a hard prediction because we're so far out from the MVP. Last year you had Lamar Jackson won it. I'm not a fan of Lamar. I don't like his game. I don't like him as a person very much. Well, okay, that sounds kind of rude. No offense to Lamar. I'm just not a huge fan of him. So I don't think he should have won. But he won, whatever. Get over it, right? So who do we think is going to win the next MVP? You know, front runners Mahomes, Lamar, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Those are probably the 4 front runners. Would you agree?
there's a couple front runners, but I'm gonna say this: I'm in for my opinion. For my pick,
Yeah.
it depends on what the NFL does with this rule. If they fucking do something to the tush push, if they ban it, then Jalen Hurts will not win MVP. Then I think personally, Christian McCaffrey's gonna win that MVP.
Bro, come on. You know a quarterback's going to win it.
A quarterback will win it, but I mean he was in the running for it this year though.
Yeah,
So-
but he's not gonna win it though.
I don't know. If he does what he did last year, he definitely gonna win it. But if he does it to another level, because that O line is stacked over there, in San Francisco. But if it's not
A quarterback, or if it is a quarterback, I'm gonna say either Jalen Hurts.
Boo.
I don't want to give it to him, but at the same time, though,
Boo, Philly.
I don't want to give it to him. I genuinely do not. But like I said, it depends on what the NFL does with the fucking tush push. That's a key thing for him. I don't want to say that's a main thing for him.
Okay, you look at last season, they had a great start to the season, but then coming out, I think the last 5 or 6 games they lost. And it was really bad. I think they went 1-5 their last couple of games, I think. And they did terribly. You look at the tush push was not very successful those last couple of games.
Oh fuck no.
You could look at their playoff game versus the Bucks. They could not use the tush push to save their lives. I mean, I think teams have the tush push figured out. I really do.
I think it actually. You know what? Without Jason Kelsey there,
Yeah, that's big time.
I
You
think
gotta factor that in. Because Jason Kelsey was the life and blood of that NFL offense in the
it was
Eagles.
the life and blood of that tush push, baby. So
Oh, yeah.
I do think I just need to see what that center's gonna do. That new center's gonna do. If that center is
He's
actually,
not Jason Kelsey now.
we may never know. You got to think about it. Jason Kelsey was a walk. I think wasn't he a walk on?
I don't even know.
He came from Cincinnati, and no one then he went late in the draft. Think about this, like
Yeah, no one thought he was gonna be anything, but then again, no
Right.
one thinks anything of the O line. O line's not sexy.
But it's not even that. But even think about this, okay? It's still the matter of if the chance again. You may take it's like the Steelers long time ago when they drafted Antonio Brown in the 8th round.
Mhm.
Did you think that the AB was gonna be booming?
No, you don't look at players that far and say they're gonna be great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like you may never know. Their center
their backup center may be phenomenal, and they got a good ass fucking O line coach. So I feel like they're gonna be solid. But if it's not Jalen Hurts, I might either say if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, give it to Aaron Rodgers. But I gotta see how that offense is.
You
gonna
can't just say give to Aaron Rodgers. Like he's got to perform.
That's what I was just about to say.
He won 2 week MVP awards with Green Bay a couple of seasons ago. It was week MVP awards.
And guess what? He's got Drew's too. How do you feel about that?
What?
He stole Drew's MVP too. How you
No,
feel?
I'm talking about the 2 years he won back to back in like 2019, 2020
Those were
with those
deserved.
Packers times.
Those were deserved.
No, they weren't.
Yeah,
They
they
were
were.
weak.
They were deserved. They were better than Brady's. Brady's MVP, bro. I mean, he was close with Brady though. Him and Brady were neck and neck on that one. But
like I said, it depends on how that offense goes for me. Then I'll give it to Rodgers. It just really depends. That offensive line does fucking scare me. because literally the first play of the game, dude was wide open, just. So I don't need another ACL, not ACL, too, Achilles tear from my favorite quarterback. So I need that offensive line to actually like block.
Do you trust the Jets to put a competent team around Rodgers?
At this point, I mean they're doing anything he says. So I mean,
They are. They
why,
are.
why not? I feel like they are, but I do think it may go back to Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes, baby.
I don't want to give it to him. I genuinely do not want to give it to him.
Get him for that 3-peat. Going for that 3-peat on the Super Bowl.
Do I think they'll win the Super Bowl again? Fuck no.
3-peat.
No, fuck
Come
no.
on, 3-peat. Let's
Fuck
go.
no.
Let's go. Here on the Spicy Pod, we are rooting for the Chiefs to have a 3-peat.
No, the fuck we don't.
Yes, we
No,
are.
the fuck we don't.
3-peat.
No, the
Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
No, the fuck we don't. Oh, and you call me a bandwagon. Hold up now. And you call yeah. You
Come
just
on
exposed
now.
yourself.
No.
Expose yourself.
Hold up. No.
You heard it here first, folks.
That is not my favorite team.
He just exposed himself.
I like the quarterback. I'm rooting for Mahomes. I am.
Look. Anyways, what the fuck was I gonna say?
Oh man.
No, there's a quarterback in Houston that's gonna stop that bullshit if the Bengals don't do shit.
You sure about that? You think CJ
Absolutely.
Stroud's gonna take on Mahomes and beat him?
Absolutely. Think about it. They didn't really have a run game last year, and look what they were doing. They were cooked. DeMarco Ryan was like, okay, I trust you to pass the ball. Not many coaches in the NFL are going to trust their rookies to pass the ball.
I think Texans gonna be really good next year. I do. I don't know if they're gonna beat the Chiefs, cause the Chiefs just got a receiver that's pretty good.
Hollywood Brown.
Absolutely, baby.
But here's the thing, though. I'm gonna say this: with the addition of Joe Mixon, that run game opens up a lot more. And you got to think of who's coming back. You got Nico Collins out there. You got Tank Dell coming back. So that's already going to be the scary wide receiver duo.
I mean, no one expected them last year to do anything. And then they did, and they were the darling team. Everyone loved them. And now this year, they have expectations to do something.
I wouldn't say they have the most expectations because people are going to look at the Chiefs
Yeah.
and be like, okay, what are y'all going to do again this year? They may rig it for the Chiefs. Who knows?
No, bruh. It's not right. Come on now. Stop that.
You mean to tell me Taylor Swift was bringing in $300 million for every time she went to a home game? Stop it now.
Stop. It's not right.
Stop
You're
it.
just, your
Stop it.
conspiracy BS is
Stop it.
showing. Hold up. So, are the Chiefs and the Texans the best teams in the AFC? Will they be in the AFC Championship? I mean, I view them as the two best teams in the AFC.
I think so because I think if they stay healthy, if not,
Yeah, well, health is the big factor in everything because health is unpredictable.
if not, I don't want to give it to the Ravens. I absolutely do not want to give it to the Ravens.
I don't like the Ravens either, man.
But
I don't like the Ravens.
I'll tell you why it might be the Ravens because Lamar. The thing about Lamar that makes
Oh, they got Derrick Henry, bro. We forgot to talk about that. They got Derrick Henry in the backfield now.
See, in my personal opinion, that's not really going to do anything.
You don't think so?
Because I mean, think about it. Lamar already runs around. If they would have signed another,
Okay, but now they have less pressure on Lamar to be the total offense. Now they got Lamar 2.0. I mean, Derrick Henry can throw. You saw that touchdown pass he made last year.
See, but the thing with that though is that with year 2 for this team coming up, Zay Flowers needs to perform like he's a good ass wide receiver. If not, he's gonna be a wide.
He did perform. He performed last year.
Not when it mattered most.
Yeah, but he's a rookie. That kind of pressure gets to you when you're a rookie.
No, I think literally, if he would have just held on to that ball, the Ravens would have been in the Super Bowl. But I mean, you can't really do much.
Bro, you're the one that just said it's rigged for the Chiefs. Now
I,
you're come on, dog.
I mean, that's just me though. But you can rig it for the Chiefs to win too. I mean,
Well, I think Derrick Henry is gonna be a big addition for the Ravens. I think he's huge.
he will be a
He's
big.
the best running back that the Ravens have had in a while.
But like we talked about earlier, like we don't really know, like if
The Ravens may go after T Higgins or somebody. We may never know.
Well, we gotta look at it as of now. As of now, Derrick Henry is a huge addition. I think he's gonna take a lot of the pressure off Lamar to perform and do amazing. I think he's gonna be great. I mean, for stability of that Ravens team to know that he's there, he's got their backs. He's gonna be a steady force in the running game. Whereas you couldn't trust any other Ravens running back. I mean, Ingram had a year, but
I
I
mean,
mean, not really. I mean, what other running back they've had?
I can't. J.K. Dobbins been hurt too many times.
Yeah, you can't trust J.K. Dobbins in the clutch like you can Derrick Henry.
J.K. Dobbins is good, but at the same time,
He's not Derrick Henry good.
I'm not saying he's not Derrick Henry good, but I'm saying he's good. He's very good. Not no elite running back level, but like we talked about earlier, like when you have players that like tore their ACL and shit, it's kind of hard to come back from that. Like we talked about earlier, and so that's kind of how it is with J.K. Dobbins. So that's why they were just like, okay, we're gonna go after Derrick Henry, which makes sense. But at the same time, for me, I would have gone after another wide receiver or try to get the Ravens organization to be like, hey, could we please go after T. Higgins? Like, could we have another receiver to throw to? Because then they could just fucking double team Zay Flowers the whole time.
Yeah.
But then you could also just run it up the middle with Derrick Henry. So, like, it really depends on what you can do.
So we got the Chiefs, we got the Texans, and we got the Ravens. That's our picks for the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if the Bengals don't do anything, then Bengals are out of there. I hate to say it, but
Well, we got every division covered except the East, so we don't think East too good. He's going the East then. I mean, I guess it's between the Bills and the Dolphins, right?
but either Bills, Dolphins, or Jets.
Yeah, Jets.
Because we don't know what that Aaron Rodgers.
We
offense
have,
is.
yeah, that's still an X factor, you know. I think the Jets won it. I do. I think the Bills got a lot worse with all the cuts they had to make
I don't know
with their
because,
defense.
in my opinion, they actually signed a consistent wide receiver too. They actually Gabe Davis was inconsistent. In my opinion, he didn't even deserve that contract. But
Their defense got worse though.
their
They had
defense,
a-
their defense
Right.
did get worse. I will say that. So that's kind of what makes it not up there. Then Miami, it just really depends on Tua's play.
Yeah, I don't trust Miami in the playoffs. Or like in general. I mean, I think they'll have a great regular season again, but I just don't trust them until you prove it to me. You know? Whereas I trust Rodgers in the playoffs because he's proved it to me that he can go to the championship. Right?
What I say about the Dolphins, though, like I said, it just depends on Tua's play. But in my opinion, if I'm the Dolphins by this time right now, I think it'd be time to move on from Tua.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
Because,
Spicy hot take for the Spicy Hot Pod.
think about it, with the receivers that you have, they're more of a deep threat.
I wouldn't move on from Tua.
I'd move on from Tua because I'll tell you why. The receivers he has are a deep threat. The motherfucker can't throw that far. It'd be different if I had a Josh Allen to team up with a Tyreek Hill and a Jalen Waddle, and Josh Allen could just throw it far. Tua can't really throw it that far.
So who would you get if you're the Dolphins then? Would you try to draft a quarterback or go after one in a trade?
I go after if I am the Dolphins, I'm gonna make a quick little phone call to the Chargers.
Justin Herbert? Bro, draft day, they traded quarterbacks. Justin Herbert went to the Chargers instead of the Dolphins because they traded picks. And now they're saying, what, 3-4 years later, oh, we're gonna redo that trade.
I think so too, because think about it. They would want to move on from that big contract because they don't know what Justin Herbert's going to do. Because I think he's getting already annoyed with that team. And with, Jim Harbaugh coming in.
Jim Harbaugh. It's the Chargers are an X factor with Jim Harbaugh. I think they're gonna be much improved because of Jim Harbaugh.
But, we also talk about it also depends on what they do. If Jim Harbaugh tries to draft the whole Michigan team to the Chargers, then, if I'm Justin Herbert, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? And I'm going to try to go to someplace like Miami, where I have deep threats like Tua and Tyreek that I could just throw to all day. And I got a solid running game, too. I got Devon Archain, I got Raheem Mostert, and I got Jeff Wilson in case of emergencies, even though he's injured 99% of the time. But still.
So, if you're saying all that, why would you, as the Chargers, want to make that trade to get Tua and push Herbert out the building?
Because Tua's less money.
Okay, yeah. It's less money, but Tua's not as good as Herbert.
Tua's not as good, but you gotta think. No Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen.
Also, the Chargers have been hurt last season. A lot of the team was hurt.
But here's the thing though. You can trade Herbert for Tua for less money, and then two, it also gives you the opportunity. Hey, we can sign more people because of said cap space. Because you have more cap space now.
Yeah, I see your point.
Because, like I said, no Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen. They're gonna have third stringers running the routes. They're gonna have Quentin Johnson getting the ball. I mean, he wasn't bad, but he could have been better though. But it just really depends on what they want to do. And if I'm the Chargers, I'm taking someone that is making less money, get him, and then try to sign some other receivers and stuff. Because the draft spots are already there for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now see who they get at running back. If they get Blake Corum, that wouldn't be a bad pickup either, because that's arguably the best running back in the draft. That is the best running back in the draft, in my opinion.
Let's run through the NFC real quick. Run through each division. Let's just say who's going to win the division. I got the Falcons in the South. I got the Lions in the North. The Niners going to win the West. And I think I'll take the Cowboys in the East.
I have Niners. I have Philly. I have Falcons. Who else am I missing?
North.
Ooh.
In the North.
I'm gonna take the Lions.
The Lions, yeah. Yeah.
Unless Green Bay shocks me. But the thing about Green Bay though,
Green Bay could, because Jordan Love proved that he's a really good quarterback last season. And I didn't expect that, because I thought Jordan Love was a draft bust. I'm going to admit it. I thought he was terrible. But he proved himself last season.
see, I knew he wasn't going to be a bust. I didn't think he'd perform as good as he did, but I knew he wasn't going to be a bust because when you sit behind someone as great as Aaron Rodgers, not trying to be this type of person, but when you sit behind someone as great as Aaron Rodgers, you're going to learn so much shit about the quarterback play that not a regular quarterback is going to teach you.
Well, look at Jacoby Brissett. He sat behind Tom Brady for a bunch of years.
He was good for a little bit of games.
Okay, so is Jordan Love going to be good for a little bit of games then?
The thing about Jordan Love and Jacoby Brissett, Jordan Love can throw that bitch far. Jordan Love can get out of the pocket.
Well, your argument, you can't just make that argument because lots of quarterbacks have sat behind the GOAT, some of the GOAT's quarterbacks, and they haven't done anything. You could look at Jacoby Brissett, for example, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, but here's the type of stuff. I hate this whole argument Cam Newton has brought upon us nowadays
What?
about the game managers.
Bro, I love me some game manager. Come on.
You sitting behind Tom Brady as a game manager, that is different. That's like me sitting behind Dak Prescott. I'm just going to learn how to manage the game.
versus when I sit behind Aaron Rodgers, who actually isn't a game manager that actually has to go run out, throw the ball, run out of the pocket, do all this amazing stuff. He's technically a game manager, but at the same time though, like he's still thinking he knows what he's reading, doing all this. It's the levels to it though. That's the thing that I'm trying to say. Like you could say, oh, some people sat behind Tom Brady and blah 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 blah. Well, you got to think of how many of them were successful sitting behind Brady. None of them were successful sitting behind Brady because Brady was slow towards the end of his career. You look at Jimmy Garoppolo right now.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker signing on the Rams.
Oh, he had some good years with the Niners, though.
But that's the Niners though. That's the thing.
Yeah. He went to the Raiders and then he did not look good. So we can say he's probably not a great NFL quarterback.
No. Jacoby Brissett, not good either.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was that making him so special was Belichick's system.
Yeah.
And so that's what was keeping them a job. If we could say that, but all right.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. I think we covered that topic pretty extensively.
Who do you think will win the NBA MVP?
That's a little more relevant because the NBA season's just wrapping up. This is March 17th, so we got like a month left in the NBA regular season. So we got a pretty good idea of who's the top players, who's not the top players. Jokic, of course, is always up there. He won back-to-back MVPs. He got robbed last year, right? Robbed?
No.
Yeah.
No.
We don't like Philadelphia in this
you
podcast.
Fucking hate Philly. Give Embiid his fucking credit. Anyways.
To everyone listening in Philadelphia, go fuck yourself.
No,
you are not welcome to this podcast.
I support you.
Well, Evan's a bitch. That's why he supports
Fuck you.
Do not listen to this
we
podcast
support
if you're
all
from
of our
Philadelphia.
viewers. Do you want people listening to our podcast?
Not if they're from Philly.
I'll support you, Philly fans. I'm gonna defend you a little bit.
Send all your hate mail to Landon.
I'll defend you a little bit, Philly. But just don't be arrogant shits about it. And if y'all become arrogant little shits, then I won't defend y'all.
All right. Well, anyways, we got Jokic in the MVP race. We got SGA with the OKC Thunder, breakout team this year. Have been really good. Not many expectations going into this year, but they've definitely broken those expectations, and they've been really good. One of the top teams in the West. Another MVP candidate, you have Luka. Luka MVP candidate. Luka's been really good, but the Mavs weren't a top team. Would they give the MVP to a 6th, 7th seed? That's the whole question. You got to be a top team to get the MVP. I don't know. We'll probably discuss that. What do you think?
They're gonna give it to Jokic because they always dick suck Jokic.
Well, hold up. Come on.
They dick
Bring
suck
some facts.
Jokic.
Bring some facts here. Don't just say that.
Do you honestly want me to bring you some facts?
Yeah. Do not just.
Jokic has the better team, bro. If you put Luka on that Denver Nuggets team, they're cooking. They're absolute cooking.
The only not top 4 seed to win MVP was Russell Westbrook. He was the 6th seed, and that's because he averaged a triple-double. Hold up, he averaged a triple-double and all that. He was the 6th seed, so that's the only MVP to not be a top 4 seed. I don't think they'd give it to Luka if he's not a top 4 seed.
They would absolutely give it to Luka, but I'll tell you why they're not going to give it to Luka. Because one, like I said, they always dick suck Jokic. Before you're like, yeah, bring some fucking facts to do it. I'm gonna tell you why. He has the better team. They're gonna give it to Jokic. But in who I think should deserve it, it's either between Luka or SGA. SGA has over 57, I think, 30-point games this year.
Yeah, SGA has a lot of 30-point games. I don't know the exact number, but
he's got over 50.
a lot.
He's got over 50. That's all you need to know.
Honestly, I think SGA should win it, in my opinion. I mean, he is a top 4 seed, and he's really good. He just doesn't have the name recognition. I mean, not as many people know about SGA as they do Jokic.
They fucking exactly.
Well,
now you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, that could be marketing. That could just be ESPN,
The
TNT
NBA sucking
people.
them off. Yeah.
Well, okay, Evan, let's stop saying that. Okay, let's actually give some facts to it. Let's give some things.
That is, you just said what you just said was factual though.
All right, Evan, calm down here. I'm gonna need you to not take your clothes off. Keep your clothes to yourself. I don't want to see you naked. Stop with all that BS. Let's just talk about what we're gonna talk about.
You weird. You're a
bro,
weird.
Let's keep it sane. Hold up.
You are saying okay. Finish what you were saying about Jokic.
All right. Well, do you like Jokic? Do you personally like Jokic?
See, I like how Jokic plays on the offensive side of the ball because he can post up, he can do whatever. Defensively, he's lazy as fuck. That motherfucker lazy as hell.
Well, he has improved defensively from earlier in his career. Could you agree on that?
Yes, he has improved. I mean, I fucking hope so.
Okay.
Hope that fat ass.
He's
motherfucker-
not maybe a top 5 defender, but he has improved defensively. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's improved defensively. But the thing is that that's helping him win this award.
The MVP is mainly an offensive award. Would you agree?
Yes,
Okay then. So why are we gonna take defensive into a huge account?
because if we're gonna take defensive into account, because if you look at all the times Giannis won the award, he won the MVP and won the defensive player in the same year, the same exact year. So you gotta think, it's who performs the best on their team. Shea, he don't really play that bad a defense, but like in both the situations, they both are on a top team. Like,
The NBA gives it to the top teams. They don't give it to the bottom teams.
but Luka can earn it though, because. But here's the thing that I don't like how they do Luka. I don't like what they're. I think what they are personally doing to Luka is like. How do I say it? Okay, so let's just say. I'm gonna give you an example. Once Wemby actually plays his full 40 minutes a game, okay? Once he actually starts playing 40 minutes, let's just say he averages 40 points a game and 20 rebounds and 10 assists magically, some fucking how. People are going to look at that as people's expectations are always going to be high. So the next season we're going to look at that and we're going to be like, okay, we expect higher now. People's satisfactions are never set in stone for this MVP race. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So that is why I think they're just going with Jokic, because they're just kind of looking at it as like, okay, one, he's a very marketable name, like you said. Two, he is performing at a top level. He is. I mean, nothing really wrong with that. Three, like, he's putting up the numbers that he has always put up the numbers. If we probably look up at his stats right now, I don't think he's even improved. He's done the same numbers as he did like the past couple of years. I mean, if you want to pull up the stats, you can. It don't matter to me.
No, let's just go off the riff. I mean, when you look at it, something else to take into consideration is voter fatigue. It's been a thing in the NBA MVP race for years. You could argue that's why Jokic didn't win it last year. I mean, maybe not. But voter fatigue, Jokic has won it for 2 straight years. So, are the voters tired of voting for Jokic? Do they want someone else?
I don't even think they're tired of Jokic. I mean,
That's why Bron didn't win more MVPs, is because voter fatigue.
that's why Kobe ain't win another one.
Right, because voter fatigue.
So, I personally think that it's just them wanting to move on from the, hey, instead of players scoring 40 points a game, how about we just go to triple doubles now?
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, that people expectations change.
And so that's why I personally think they're going to give it to Jokic, because he is a top team in the league. He's got a top team in the league. He's got the better team. He's performing the best overall on offense. He's there more consistently than these other dudes. Because, I mean, number 3 on the MVP ranking list is Giannis. Luka's not even number 3. He's I think, 4. I mean, I personally think Luka's better than Giannis because Luka will actually win games when he's there. But that's a conversation for another time. But I don't know what I'm saying right now. But
Yeah, we can both see it. It's kind of clear that they're going to give it to Jokic, right?
Yeah, they're going to give it to Jokic, but do I personally think that Jokic deserves it? No.
And he doesn't even care. He's just gonna go ride his horses. He does not care about these NBA MVP awards.
He is legit just going to ride his horses. That's what I personally think.
Go back to Serbia and ride his horses.
And that's what I personally think will happen. He's going to win his third MVP. And see, I think I don't want to say they're rigging it because,
You think everything's rigged? Come on.
because hear me out, okay? He wins a third MVP in a row. What other center has won 3 MVPs?
You really think they're rigging it?
How many centers have won 3 MVPs?
I don't know the stats. I don't know.
No other center, and if you say Tim Duncan's a power forward, so that don't count. No other center, I believe, has won 3 MVPs.
You don't think Wilt won 3 MVPs?
He's playing against plumbers later.
Okay, so it's different.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's playing against He's playing against 5'9" white people. So
Like me. Come on.
exactly. So
Bro, I'm just kidding. I'm like 6'4". I'm jacked. I got all this muscle right now, right, Evan? Everyone knows it's true.
he's Dr. Love for a reason, anyways. Let's go to the next topic. What do we think about sports possibly being rigged for the sake of Vegas and FanDuel sports betting?
I mean, we were kind of touching this earlier, bits and pieces throughout the podcast. You obviously think it's a big conspiracy. Everything's rigged. Super Bowl's rigged. NBA MVP's rigged. Everything's rigged, right, Evan?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, you think everything's rigged, huh?
I don't think everything's rigged. So
You about to say the election's rigged, huh?
this past election, but
I was not gonna do that.
we're not gonna argue
No.
that because we're definitely not. But anyways, I personally think it's rigged because I'll tell you why. My boy Malcolm told me the other day because you also got to look at multiple factors into it. With NBA, okay, you got referees that rig the game. Okay, look at Tim Donaghy.
All right, that was one ref that got caught. He did crimes, but you don't have any proof that it's being rigged today.
I have no physical proof that Vegas is rigging them because people can hide their marks really fucking good.
Oh yeah, rich people, they know how to hide stuff.
Oh, exactly. That's the thing. And my boy Malcolm was telling me, I'm gonna give you a nice little story. We were at Walgreens.
Bro, no one cares about your boy Malcolm. I want to focus on you. What is your argument?
But listen to the story. So we were at Walgreens. We're on FanDuel. We plan to make a Super Bowl bet. This man was like, man, how come the Chiefs are the underdogs? And everyone knew they were gonna win. Why would they make them the underdogs? Shouldn't they be the favorites? But unless Vegas looking at it as the 49ers are the favorites, oh, they got the better team, yada this, to try to make their money. But in reality, though, if you looked at how many people placed their bets on the Super Bowl, it was 1 billion people placed a bet on the Super Bowl.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Crazy. Record amount of money spent on sports betting the Super Bowl. It was insane.
And that's what I'm saying. So, if let's just say you never got into football before, you are just now, you are from France and you're like, I want to watch the Super Bowl. I want to bet on the Super Bowl. And you're just looking at both of these teams and you're just like, I personally think the 49ers are going to win it because, I'm just doing this for shits and giggles.
Well, someone like that would probably look at the records of the teams and see the 49ers had the better record during the regular season and therefore would win the Super Bowl.
And would place their money on the 49ers, but then once Super Bowl time comes, they lose their money.
Okay.
So, think about this. Everyone that was experienced, that knows football, that watches football, bro, you mean to tell me you didn't know out the gate that Kansas City was not going to win that Super Bowl?
I didn't know that. I actually picked the Niners to win it. Maybe I'm a contrarian, but I picked the Niners to win. I feel like they had a better team. Did you think they Niners had the better team?
I felt like Niners had a better team, but
Exactly.
I also felt like two things in that situation. It's like betting on Brady. You don't bet that. It's like that situation, but with Patrick Mahomes. You don't bet on Patrick Mahomes. You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. That's why whenever, let's just say, the new people come in and they're looking at the 49ers and they're like, oh, I think the 49ers are going to win. And then looking at all these people that score a touchdown, do you know how many people probably bet that George Kittle was going to get a touchdown or over like 25 yards? But instead, he got like one catch for like 1 yard.
So you think he only got that one catch because he wanted to screw over the people who bet on him?
No, because there's some shit that I think could personally be rigged. I mean, we've seen athletes, we've seen people come out about it being fake. Look, Jalen Ramsey, whenever he was on the Jaguars, whenever he was playing Tom Brady, he deleted a tweet saying like coach was telling him to like sell the game, like don't win the game.
I don't know how true that is. You're just bringing that up. Well, we'd have to fact check that now.
We would have to. Yep, you can fact check it all you want, but they have some players come out and speak on. Perfect example right here. It was on Kevin Garnett's show, I think.
There was some player that was talking about, you know, the Philadelphia 76ers made it to the second round, okay? They're playing Boston. Or they're playing against Kevin Garnett.
So the dude's like, the dude that was actually playing, he was like a rookie or something. He's getting excited. He was like, yeah, man, I can't wait to play Boston. And so one of his teammates, I forgot who it was, I need to find this clip and I'll show it to you. He was like, do you honestly think they're going to let the 76ers at the time beat the Boston Celtics with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, all of them? Think about it. Ratings do come into factors now.
If you're making that argument, then you would think super teams always win no matter what.
No.
When they don't, you have super teams that fail all the time.
But
you look at Brooklyn with James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. You think they would just give it to them because they have superstars?
No.
That's what you're saying.
No, that's probably not what I'm saying. Because, like we talked about earlier, with the 49ers bet, they had the better team, right?
Yeah.
So, let's just say the Brooklyn Nets are playing in the finals against the Phoenix Suns that year. Let's just say KD made the shot, and now they're playing the Phoenix Suns. People are going to look at the Phoenix Suns. They're going to be like, the Phoenix Suns are the underdogs in this situation, but the favorites are the Nets. So I'm going to place my money, and like a new bettor, I would place my money on the Brooklyn Nets because of the star power. But you know, some people always have that superstition of just like, I think the Suns actually play like solid team ball. It just really depends on what they want to happen at the time, like for ratings and stuff. If you understand what I'm saying.
All right. So you're saying it's a narrative thing. Whatever they want to happen for ratings, they're gonna rig it to that to happen.
Cause think about this, okay? Like we were talking about Taylor Swift earlier, okay? She was bringing it before she was coming to the games. They were losing, right? They were sucking. Chiefs were losing.
They were not sucking.
They were sucking.
They were not sucking.
They were sucking.
Chiefs Kingdom, we do not promote the sucking
Stop
of
looking
Chiefs.
at the Chiefs. Give me a second. Chiefs record.
Hold up. So you're about to tell me that Taylor Swift magically turned the Chiefs season around?
I'm not gonna say magically turned the Chiefs season around.
It's pretty much what you're saying, that Taylor Swift is the only reason why they started winning games. It's not because they figured out how to click on the offense, or maybe Travis Kelce started playing better, or maybe Mahomes started playing better.
Yeah,
It's all on.
Travis Kelce was playing better, all right. Yeah. Make my argument even more valid. But like, look, they weren't winning close games though.
No, your point is it's rigged. I'm not saying it's rigged.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying it's rigged to a certain extent, if that makes sense. Because you could let it all just play out. Because, like, for example, I've made a
Let it all play out. Okay, in the Super Bowl, let it all play out. Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is the better quarterback in the clutch. That's why he won. He didn't win because Taylor Swift. We gotta show Taylor Swift killing
that
Travis
is
Kelce.
absolutely how that happened. Because legit, like, if Taylor Swift bringing $300 million to your damn franchise, okay? Every single time she's at a home game, every single time, like you're swimming in money. You can do the Scrooge McDuck dive.
Okay, but they would make that much money in the Super Bowl even if they lost, correct?
No, they're gonna make even more money.
Why?
Taylor Swift is at the game.
Okay.
Do you know
she'd
how-
be at the quarterback regardless if they won or lost the Super Bowl, correct?
Can you say it again?
So she'd be at the game regardless if they won or lost, right?
I don't know about that.
You think she wouldn't go to the game if they lost?
I have no idea. I'm not Taylor Swift. I ain't gonna determine that. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, think about this, okay? Like we talked about earlier, rich men got ways to cover their tracks. So you don't think, okay, Taylor Swift bringing all this money in for me, and now when the Super Bowl comes, you got all these international fans that know Taylor Swift. You don't think they're gonna look at that and be like, huh? That's Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. I might, like, you gotta like actually like look at it. You can't be like blind to it. In some situations, I feel like they let it play out. Like for example, we're gonna pick
Only in some situations.
in some situations.
Only in some. Okay.
Some situations I do think they rig, but that's also because I don't think that Vegas is gonna rig all the games because you could just be
It's
able
getting too obvious, right? Too obvious.
I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I'm gonna tell you, I fell for this legit about 3 weeks ago.
Of course you did. Very gullible, very stupid.
Fuck off. I had a parlay, and so I needed one leg to hit. It was the Clippers versus the Bucks. The catch was that Giannis was out. His Achilles was hurt. So
Clippers won that game.
no,
No, the Bucks won.
the Bucks
Yeah,
won
the Bucks won.
because Damian Lillard dropped 40. So if you look at that,
They just won this morning, by the way, without Giannis, because Dame had a game.
and see, the Bucks are something special right now.
The
But
Bucks are actually turning around their season. They're doing really good right now. Doc Rivers, we gotta give it up to Doc Rivers.
give it up to Doc Rivers, baby. But like we were talking about earlier, the better team, the Clippers, because everyone was healthy at the time. Russ ain't break his hand before then. Russ was playing and all that shit. So I thought the Clippers were gonna win. Obviously, I didn't expect Dame to drop 40. So therefore, that I feel like that's a game rigged by Vegas. But if it's like, let's just say, they can have some occasional game, okay? Like for example, do you think that actual? I'm gonna give you something even better today, and it happened today too. If you just let them boys play out, do you think the Heat are gonna lose by 3 points to the Detroit Pistons? You just let them play out.
If you let them play out, the Heat are a better team than the Pistons.
You think they're gonna blow them out, right?
I don't know. The Pistons have been playing really good lately. Have they not? Evan, look at the Pistons. The last couple of games, they've been playing pretty good. Not like top tier, but they've been. They started off the season absolutely terrible.
Later.
But like recently, they've actually looked competent.
Later. Y'all just made the finals last season.
We have, yeah.
So
Heat culture.
fuck that. Y'all just made the finals last season.
Because of heat culture.
No.
Continue. Go ahead.
No. Anyways, you don't think that
This
y'all-
podcast supports heat culture, by the way. Continue.
You don't think y'all would be blowing out the Pistons by a lot?
No, because like I said, the Pistons have been playing pretty good as of late.
No.
If
Y'all,
we're playing the Hornets, I expect us to blow out the Hornets.
y'all have a better lineup than the Detroit Pistons. Y'all have Jimmy Butler to cancel out Kate Cunningham. That's who y'all have. Everybody else can do whatever the fuck they want. Bam's gonna kill Jalen Durham. Y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want. Y'all's bench unit is pretty fucking solid, especially with Harry Rozier. Y'all got a pretty solid lineup. I expect y'all to blow them out. That's the thing. But you don't think Vegas is gonna rig it a little bit to where y'all win? I mean, I ain't see the 3-pointer today, but you get what I'm saying? Because let's just say, look better. I know that Miami's gonna win, but I think they're gonna win. I'm taking the over. Okay, I think they're gonna cover the over.
Okay, you're taking the Heat and the over. You're saying, right?
Mm-hmm. Like they're gonna win by over 4.5 points. Okay, we're 7 points. Okay, you don't think that I'm gonna win the money line, but when it comes to the over, I lost. I still lost because think about it.
They only won by 3 points.
You get what I'm saying?
See, it all works by what people are betting. So, more people are betting on the Heat, then they're going to decrease that money line. If more people are betting on the Pistons, they're going to increase that money line. So, it all goes off of an algorithm, first of all. Second of all, what people are betting themselves. And third of all, what Vegas is having the bet be placed at to begin with.
And that's what I'm saying, because like I said, I don't think they're gonna rig all the games. Because one, you don't know what games they're gonna rig. Y'all won today, but y'all might lose to the fucking Hornets tomorrow. Yeah,
Have you never played sports before?
Yes.
You have. I know you have. Okay. You've been in that competition mode then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In a game, going at it, right?
Yeah.
Right? You've been in that situation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that situation, you're really gonna think these people are gonna tell you to throw the game.
If it's to promote better ratings, if it's legit, if it's your higher bosses, okay?
Yeah, your coach, your general manager.
Your higher bosses, let's just say it's NBA league officials. I'm not saying they're doing this, but I'm just saying that they're telling you.
You just said they did this.
But here's the thing though, let me explain.
Evan.
Let me explain. So, if let's just say it's a higher league, upper league representative, and they're like, okay, throw the game. You don't think that they're gonna punish you for it if you don't throw the game? Absolutely. But at the same time, though, what I'm saying is, hold on, this MacBook about to die.
Yeah, grab this charger right here. Go plug it in. I'm gonna make a point real quick. Okay, so if you're in the game, you're maybe not a star player. You're just a role player, right? And you're in the game, and these people get in your head telling you, "Hey, you need to throw the game. You need to let LeBron dunk like 5 times on you." You as a player, you'll be like, yeah, sure, boss. Let me get bodied by LeBron. That's the attitude you're saying these players have?
I'm not saying they're doing it every time though. I'm saying for certain games, you may have to let LeBron do 7 dunks for this one game, but then the next game they may come up to you and be like, okay, how about you actually do something? You actually score 35 on LeBron.
Would you as a player want that to happen?
I would want it to happen. But
you would want that to happen to your coach saying, "Hey, let LeBron dunk on you 7 times and lose the game."
But you gotta think, these leagues are businesses. Do you think I ain't want to see Nikola Jokic in no damn finals last year.
Okay. So if the league was rigged, why do you think that Heat and the Nuggets got in the finals over the Lakers and the Celtics?
Because who the fuck in Vegas would decide, hey,
I'm placing a bet on the Miami Heat to make the
Well,
finals. Y'all were the 8th seed.
ratings
Landon.
would be way higher with the Celtics and Lakers. Would they not?
They would absolutely be high.
Exactly.
But at the same time, though, you would also have to look at it like you are not understanding. You are not understanding my point.
I don't think
I'm
I
saying
maybe
I'm
saying
saying they're rigging some games. Let's just say, for example, okay, you have we're gonna take that Lakers and not Lakers Clippers game, the Bucks and Clippers game, for example, and then you got the Pelicans and Hornets, for example. Okay, if you are betting with Giannis being out, who are you betting on? Just tell me.
with Giannis being out, I'd bet on the Clippers.
There you go. And Pelicans and Charlotte, okay? Who are you gonna bet on?
The Pelicans and the Charlotte Hornets, I would probably bet the Pelicans.
So they may let the Pelicans and Hornets play against each other, like actually just let them play, not tell them anything. Hey, you don't need to throw this fucking game. It's fucking bullshit anyway. Most of the people are gonna let you win. So the Pelicans are gonna win. But for that Bucks game, not many people are going to think, hey, you know, Giannis is out. People are gonna lean towards the Clippers now. So how about like y'all actually win this time? Vegas gets their money. You get a win. You get on national television. Everybody's happy. Win-win.
If everything's just a big conspiracy and everything like this, wouldn't you think people would come out? Because the more people you tell about this conspiracy of rigging games, the harder it is to keep secret.
We literally just had a whole situation of the referee named Tim Donaghy. Dude,
That was in the early 2000s. Yes, that was a bad ref, and he was connected to a couple other refs that were bad. But in today's game, wouldn't you think?
we legit just had a referee that literally might get fired because he had bias. He had Boston Celtics. He was a Boston Celtics fan.
Okay, then he might get fired, so he's gonna be punished, right?
Yeah, he might get fired.
He's gonna be punished. So if these games are rigged, then the riggers will get punished then, right?
If people are finding it, think about it. The general public found out about this.
It's hard to keep secret something this big.
Yeah, but if they keep it a fucking secret though, and let's just say it doesn't get out, you don't think that man's still gonna have a job?
Okay, do you think it'd be easy to keep this rigging thing a secret?
Motherfucker, if he didn't have a fucking second burner account, I think it would have been a good ass secret if he didn't have a second Twitter account.
Okay, how many people have to be involved for this whole conspiracy to happen though? Wouldn't it be hundreds, if not thousands of people that know that this game is rigged? And you wouldn't think one of them would say something to get fame or money?
You got money talks, Landon. Money fucking talks.
If they come out, then they're gonna get money from interviews, and they're gonna be on probably national television with money saying, "Hey,
Yeah, but
I have this leaked
yeah, but
that
you
these
know,
things are happening, and I have proof."
if you're okay, versus would I rather be going on an interview on Fox News making probably about like not even $1 million, about like $200,000 just to show my face, just to talk about for something that's could be
If
written
it's that big, you're gonna get them bigger than Fox News. You'll probably get on ABC, Good Morning America. You'll get on all the stations. You could even meet the president probably. Talk about the rigging.
No, because these things are businesses. You know what? We're gonna have a guest on here one day, and I'm gonna give you more valid reason for this.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go over this on another topic
We will
because
actually have to finish this another time.
we will. We're gonna talk about this on another podcast too because my friend Evan here, he's kind of slow in the head. I don't really think he has it all together. He's got to get a little helper to help him make his point. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you agree? Okay, good.
No,
He
I don't
agrees,
need a fucking
everyone. He
helper.
agrees.
I don't need a damn helper. I'm checking my phone right now.
Alright, let's go to the next topic. We spent a while on that topic. Let's get to the Super Bowl halftime shows.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you my rankings for this. Okay.
We're ranking the past couple Super Bowl halftime shows.
I'm gonna tell the viewers what we're ranking. We're ranking the Shakira one, the Weeknd one, the Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem one, the Rihanna one, and the Usher one. I'm gonna start off first with dead last. I'm going Usher.
Wait, okay, hold up. I'm just have to say, all of these performances were pretty good. Would you agree?
Usher was not good. To me, Usher was not good.
You don't think it was good? Not even great, just like good. You don't think it was a good performance?
It was a good performance if I'm 35 and older.
Okay, it was a good performance. What I'm trying to say is none of these 5 performances were trash.
They weren't trash.
Exactly. So even the 5th best one is a pretty good show.
Yeah. Like, for example, I mean, I personally think Usher was better than Maroon 5, but I mean,
I think most people would agree on that.
well, like,
But we're just ranking these past 5
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
but to me, I just personally didn't like the Usher one. I mean, I knew some songs, but I didn't know all of them. But that's not listening to Usher.
Well, why didn't you like it then?
I just felt like he could have done more, if you know what I mean.
He could have, yeah. I feel like he did a good bit though. His dancing was on point. He brought up multiple guests.
I felt like he did a good job on that. I felt like bringing in all the guests, like he did what the past couple Super Bowl people have done. So I will give him that credit right there. But to me, Usher's last. Number 2.
Well, I'll go with my last pick. We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
So I'd go number 5, The Weeknd. I feel like he's not as big of a performer as these other people are. I don't feel like he's as widely known in every space as these other people are. I think he put off a good show. I think COVID hurt him. He didn't have the fan impact, the fan interaction that these other halftime shows did, because his halftime show was done during COVID. They had stick people in the crowd or whatever. It wasn't a great look, just performance wise. So that's really the reasons why I put it as 5.
So, me personally, my number 4 is The Weeknd, because I agree with all your points on that one, but also the COVID thing was a big thing. I did like all of the songs. The only problem was that for me, it was just so weird how he was doing it, and like how he was moving around and stuff.
Yeah.
And like he could have brought in like a guest or something.
Well, it was impacted because of COVID. They had lots of like regulations they had to work around because of COVID. So I don't think he was able to do a lot of the stuff that he wanted to do otherwise.
I don't think so either. And so that's what I personally like think about, The Weeknd like being at number 4, because like he still has some good ass songs. So like I still think that he was actually better than Usher though. So I can't really shame The Weeknd that much. But I mean, he's like I said, he was better than at Maroon 5. The Weeknd was definitely better than Maroon 5. So
I'd say at number 4 I'd have Rihanna. I mean, you gotta give her credit. She did it while pregnant.
what?
Which is a huge thing to do.
What?
But to me, like during the Super Bowl halftime show, I expect Rihanna to do more. I expect her to dance. I expect her to bring all the energy. And she didn't have a lot of energy. Now, I understand why, because she was pregnant. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was pregnant, that's for sure.
You were.
She did good for a pregnant person, but for a Super Bowl halftime show,
You are going to get us hate on this podcast.
Bro, hold up.
Damn.
she didn't bring the energy. And I understand why she didn't.
Yeah.
But for a halftime show, I need that energy.
You disappoint me sometimes.
Alright, go ahead. What's your thing?
You disappoint me sometimes. Number 3, this may come as a shocker. Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige. I felt like me before you're like, Evan, why are you saying that? Hear me out now. I felt like everybody's timing could have been a lot better. Also, I do believe 50 Cent didn't need to be in there. Neither did Mary J. Blige. But I mean, I understand that was the pop at the time. It's all about rap culture for that show. That's why you got 50 Cent in there, Snoop, Dr. Dre, Kendrick, you know, the mix with the new and the old. I also didn't like how, like, the timing of everybody's was, like, how Eminem, like, got, like, a little bit of minutes, and then, like, Snoop got, like, more minutes than that. So, like, that's why I didn't really personally like it. I felt like if they had, like, an even amount of minutes, it would have been good. I mean, Kendrick only performed a little bit. He didn't even perform much. So, and I saw a couple people that were like, whenever this was going on, they were like, Kendrick only had like 5 minutes. Like, yada yada this, yada yada that. I mean, but I really can't blame him though. When you have a bunch of people like that just stuffed in a show, like, and you only have a certain amount of time to perform, like, I can't really blame you, but like at the same time, like you didn't really need that many people.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on a lot of points. I have actually that same halftime show as my number 3. We have the same ranking for that one. I'd say, yeah, agreeing with you. It was too crowded. I mean, to a point they had too many guests on where people didn't have the same amount of time or people didn't have enough time. As well, I felt like not everyone brought their best foot forward. I felt like Snoop did a good job, Dr. Dre did a good job, Mary J. Blige did a good job, Kendrick performed phenomenally. But I don't think Eminem was that great, and I didn't think 50 Cent was that great. Maybe if they cut out Eminem and 50 Cent and increased the time with everyone else, it would have been better. Another thing is, the halftime shows performed during the daytime, which I understand they can't help it in Los Angeles. But I feel like it's just not as great of a look as a nighttime performance. There's better vibes at night than during the day. And that halftime shows during the day, which again they couldn't help, but it doesn't help the ranking. You know, it only hurts them in the ranking. So that's my argument. Go ahead.
My number 2. My personal opinion on this. I feel like I love some ass shaking. I love some ass shaking. It's number 2. It has the same effect with like Usher, but like Shakira and J-Lo. I feel like they were a good combo. And I feel like both of them were playing songs that like people did know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like you play a song that I know, and you play a song everyone knows, that type of stuff. Like, and I felt like that was a good combo. And then I love how they were shaking ass too. Like,
oh man, for my number 2, I gotta go. Probably Usher. I think he brought a good performance. I really do. And it was again nighttime, which helped. Like I was making the point earlier. I think he brought a lot of energy to the performance. I think he brought out really good guest stars when he brought out Lil Jon and Ludacris to go do Yeah. That was a great moment. He brought out, I forget who else he brought out, but it was a great her Slade. Slay.
you didn't know who she was. You didn't know who she was, so she popped up on that stage. You know why?
Bro, come on. Don't hate. I'm not racist. Come on.
No, I'm not calling you racist.
Bro,
You just ain't know who she was.
I knew who her was. You have no way to prove I didn't. Anyway, I think Usher brought a great performance. He brought all the energy that the ones in the lower rankings didn't bring. I just overall thought he had a great performance. He had bangers. He has some hits that people knew now. He had a lot of hits.
So, my number 1, it's obviously Rihanna.
Come on.
The reason I like Rihanna.
Come on.
Fuck off. I'll tell you why.
Go ahead. Tell me why.
Tell
me why.
Her
Evan,
voice.
tell me why.
The fuck.
Tell me why, Evan.
If you would shut the fuck up, I absolutely will. I like Rihanna's voice. The voice was perfect. It didn't sound like much auto-tune was in there.
I feel like she lip synced a little bit, Evan. I feel like it's pretty evident she lip synced.
Motherfucker, she damn fucking pregnant. And she was fucking singing good. She was singing good, and it was actually pretty solid. So, it was like an authentic performance. Do I agree she could have done a little bit more? Absolutely. I believe she could have done a lot more. But just from like the singing and like the actual aspect of it, I felt like she did pretty good with that. But compared to the other ones, The Weeknd, he sounded like he still had he had a lot of auto-tune. Usher, the man was trying his hardest. Like he was sweating during the halftime show.
Bro, that energy, that's why.
No.
I'm gonna push back on this a little bit though. Let me ask you this. Well, okay, first of all, you had dudes humping the air. Do you remember that? The dudes straight were humping the air.
That was funny.
It was the funniest thing.
If you actually remember it, they had one of the little platforms of the halftime show. One of them just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. It was like the Katy Perry shark thing.
Yeah. Okay, another thing up. Do you think she brought the right amount of energy for the halftime show?
I think leading up to it, no. But when she actually performed and a bunch of people were watching.
But what do you mean leading up to it?
Because, I mean, not gonna lie to you, I mean, this was me though. I mean, I wasn't excited for Rihanna's performance at first, but whenever I actually watched it, I thought it was actually a genuine good performance.
So you think she brought the energy?
I think she brought the energy, I think, at the very last moment, but, like, think about it, I mean, it's like, she's not really, like, a big name anymore. I mean, she's still a big name, don't get it twisted out, but,
She doesn't have current hits.
And like that's like what I'm referring to. Like if I'm Jay-Z and I'm like doing the halftime show director, I'm like, hey, how about I get Taylor Swift? Do you know how many people will get ready for that year, for like a long ass year?
I think they'll bring Taylor Swift for next year's halftime show.
Oh, they'd absolutely will with all that fucking money she brings in. Absolutely. Absolutely. With all that fucking money in. Shit. And the Super Bowl ticket's gonna go up too.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. They want the money. So Super Bowl tickets with Taylor Swift performing, sky high.
$20,000 for the nosebleed, baby.
They're already too high. And they're just gonna get even higher. But yeah, like I was saying, so what's your argument? Why do you think she brought the energy? Because I don't think she brought the energy.
I think she was playing songs that she liked, or not, that people actually liked, but it's just like, I feel like people just forgot about Rihanna, and so then, once she was actually like singing and stuff, I feel like she brought it. I mean, did fucking people freak out that she was pregnant? Oh, fucking course, I mean. But I was looking at it at the singing aspect. I didn't really give a fuck if she was pregnant or not. I mean, I just want a good halftime show most of the time. Because I need something to sit through before I watch the game again.
I want a good halftime show, absolutely, as well.
So,
I don't think she brought the energy, though.
I don't think I think when she was singing, that's when she brought it. And that was like, my opinion, that was the worst time to bring it, because if you were a bigger name, like we talked about, you would have that energy behind
So you think her singing brought the energy?
Because it was just natural, in my opinion. It just sounded a lot more natural. But since she's not a big name, you don't really have that energy leading up to it. That's why I feel like she shocked a lot of people when she performed that, if you get what I'm saying.
Shocked a lot of people? Evan, come on.
Not
She's been
shocked.
doing this for 20 years. She
not-
can sing.
I know she can sing, but I'm saying like shocked people as in like, people were thinking like it's not gonna be a good halftime show type stuff. I get it. It's her job. She's a performer.
Well,
But-
she actually let me down. I thought it'd be better than it was. Just because I didn't know she'd be pregnant during the halftime show.
Well, I'm saying as in like, how do I say it? She practically, since like I said, she's not a big name, so people are gonna expect it to be a good show, but not the greatest show, but not a bad show either. Just a good show, and that's what I think people are just forgetting automatically. So, like for example, I think Eminem and Mary J. Blige could
I think they could have done a lot better. That's what I personally think. Like Dr. Dre and all of them, they could have done better. I felt like they could have been more natural. I felt like they were trying to be natural, but like since it was in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
Usher. I felt like Usher was pretty natural, but since like you're going into a new market now, where not many people know Usher. It's
Well,
like-
what do you mean not many people know Usher? Hold up. Who do you know that doesn't know Usher?
I could get my little cousin right now, and he probably don't know fucking Usher.
He probably doesn't know Rihanna either, does he?
He probably does not.
Exactly. So what's your point?
We need to fucking get people that are relevant.
No, hold up. The Super Bowl halftime show performers were picked because they appeal to the most people. You can't just have people who popped off in the last 5 years because they wouldn't have the older audience. You
Right.
gotta get people that older people know and younger people know. Maybe not the youngest people know, but the largest number of people know, if you know what I mean.
But I'm gonna say this though. I personally think that who I want to see for next year, he did a good ass job performing the national anthem. I want to see Post Malone.
He did America the Beautiful, not the national
National
anthem.
anthem.
But I agree. I think Taylor Swift and Post Malone would drive ratings through the roof. I think
If they
it'd
can't,
be really cool.
if they can't get Taylor Swift, because I know she was supposed to be at last year or year before with Rihanna, but
Well, now that her boyfriend's playing in the NFL, he probably would do it.
yeah, she probably gonna do it now. But anyway,
No, hold up. Hear me out. Taylor Swift, Post Malone, and then appearance by Lil Wayne, just because it's in New Orleans. That would be epic.
see, it'd be weird for me, but I gotta see how they do it though, because you gotta think you got multiple different genres coming in.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But-
Obviously, you have to do
but-
it right.
But
Obviously.
I think though the main factor in that would be Posty, because Posty can rap, Posty can sing.
And he can sing country.
Exactly. So that's why I think he's the meshing factor. That's why I like it.
Yeah. I think that would be my dream halftime show for next year. Those three. Wrapping up, number one for me, if you couldn't figure out, it was J-Lo and Shakira's halftime
He
show
likes that ass.
in 20. Well, okay, calm down.
Let's shake that ass.
They brought the high energy, and that's what I want in a halftime show. I want the energy, and they brought it. Yes, ass shaking is a form of energy, my dear friend, but they just brought that energy, and that's what I loved about the halftime show. The visuals were amazing. Shakira and J-Lo both played their hits, which people knew, and they sung pretty well. Oh, they sung amazing. Everything about that show is top tier in my opinion. I mean, it's a great show. So, I think we've done about enough for today's pod, Evan. What'd you say?
I think we've done a bit too much of a pod. I need a nap.
He's a bit lazy, everyone.
I need me a nice little nap.
He doesn't have that hard work ethic.
I do have that hard work ethic.
No, he's
I
a
just
lazy.
need a nice ass fucking nap.
I enjoyed this extra spicy pod episode. You enjoyed it?
I did too. We had some-
Episode 2, banger.
very much so a banger, and we actually had some more spicy takes than we did the first episode too.
We're gonna come at you with every single episode spicy takes. You can bet on that.
You heard it here first, baby.
Extra spicy takes for the extra spicy pod. This has been Landon.
Evan signing out, baby.
Adios.